Life is a journey. That is what we always say. There are people who live on the way. There are others who blacklist you completely from that life, and then there are others who stay. Today, I want to appreciate the one who stayed. It is not easy for somebody to stick by you and to stay by you, because I know we know ourselves. We always say, I am so hard to deal with, but there is somebody who gets easier to deal with you. So I want to appreciate the one who stayed. To the one who stayed, this is for you. To the one who stayed, this is for you. Not the loud ones, not the ones who promised forever before they knew what forever will cost. No, this is for you, to the one who stayed. When my skies forgot their blue, when my words lost their music, when my smile became a visitor, you stayed. I see you, to the one who stayed. You saw the cracks, the questions, the doubt, the tired eyes, the long nights, the unfinished prayers, and somehow you didn't flinch, you didn't leave, you stayed, to the one who stayed. You didn't ask me to become easier. You didn't demand a better version of me. You simply walked beside me, one step, one breath, one day at a time. You stayed. When silence filled the room, when conversations became sighs, when I said I am okay, but I meant I am barely holding on, you stayed. I see you. You heard what I couldn't say. You understood what I couldn't explain. You loved what I struggled to love. It is me I struggled to love, but you saw me and you stayed. I see you. Not because I never failed, but because you knew failure was never my final name. You stayed. When my hands were empty, when my dreams looked impossible, when hope felt expensive, when faith felt borrowed, I held on to yours and you stayed. People celebrate arrivals, grand entrances, standing ovations, but life is built by those who remain. I see you, to the one who stayed. Those who chose the ordinary days, the slow healing, the awkward conversations, the uncomfortable truths, the waiting, the becoming, the staying, the holding on. You taught me that loyalty doesn't always make noise. Sometimes it sounds like I reached home safely. I prayed for you, and then I'm being asked, did it, or did you say I am here? Three simple words that kept on repeating, I am here. Three single words that said, you are strong enough. Hold on together, to the one who stayed. Thank you for becoming a home without walls, for becoming a light without asking to be noticed, for becoming peace when everything else felt like war. You reminded me that love isn't always the butterfly. Sometimes it is found in consistency. It is found in showing up again and again. Maybe every single Monday that I wake up to craft such a poem, you are the ones who stayed. Even when nobody's going to applaud, even when something is going to cost nothing. And if tomorrow asks me what grace looks like, I will say, you are the one who stayed. May life stay with you. May joy recognize your address. May peace learn your name. May love find you in every season. And when my own strength trembles, may someone stand beside you without conditions, without deadlines, without escape plans. May they choose to say, you stayed. And I held on because you stayed, to the one who stayed. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to the one who stayed. Again, apologies. My lighting today is not good. So I apologize again. But to the one who stayed, thank you so, so much. So our speaker today is from the West of Africa, and who is the best person to introduce him other than a friend of Power Monday who is also from the West of Africa. So I welcome Prince Alabaster, who is going to introduce the guest speaker of the day.
I haven't seen him though. Have you seen him in the group?
Let me check.
I've not seen him logged in, and yeah, there is a possibility he thought it is there 7 a.m. and it's
No. He has attended several Power Mondays, so he knows.
I know that. I know that. I can do it. I can do it.
Kindly.
Let me introduce. Allow me to introduce the speaker for the day. And this is somebody who has been here before and was talking to us about waste to wealth. And this is Dr. Ben Festus. He holds a PhD in physics. I love that start. Yeah, it's PhD in physics, specializing in electronics, measurement and instrumentation from the Federal University of Technology, Akure. This is what I did in undergraduate at the University of Nairobi. He holds a postdoctoral fellowship with the Center for Nanoengineering and Advanced Material Department and Advanced Materials, Department of Metallurgy, University of Johannesburg, South Africa. He serves as the Director of Research and Development at the Federal Polytechnic Ede, Nigeria. He is a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Science Laboratory Technology and the Institute of Policy Management and Development, and a member of both the Institute of Physics, London, and the Nigerian Institute of Physics. Dr. Ben is the founder of CoolTech, the world's first smart vaccine cooling device designed to support effective cold chain delivery in remote and off-grid environments. His work sits at the intersection of advanced materials, IoT-enabled systems, renewable energy, and sustainable engineering, with a strong emphasis on translating research into practical real-world solutions. And I think with that, because it's fairly long, we can invite Dr. Festus to speak to us. He will say more. uh, Dr. Festus, you can pick it up.
It's a great privilege to be back in your midst, to share insights, and to encourage ourselves that despite the challenges in life, we keep moving forward, because sincerely, there's only one place to go, and that is forward. We keep progressing. So I want to appreciate the entire Power Monday team for the opportunity once again to interact with members of the group and people from different parts of the world. Today, we'll be looking at big data analytics, AI-driven decision making. It's important for us to know that the world has actually changed. So it's also important for us to change with the world. I'm going to look at this from four perspectives because of the time we have. One is to understand the cost of guessing. How does guessing affect us as individuals, affect our business, and affect our profession? And of course, what is the value that is hidden in everyday data? And we'll also look at how data becomes a decision, and of course, how AI can help us to understand this data much more better. So, for The first aspect, you need to understand that every day we generate data. Um, and it's important for us to know as business person or as researchers or regardless of whatever field you are actually engaged in, those fields communicate with you every now and then. They are actually saying something. But the major question is, are you actually listening to what is being said? For example, if you look at the picture I have here, these green lines, the blue lines I actually placed here shows the data. Somebody comes to your business, interacts with your business. Um, there's something going on. Will the person come back again? How many people do you get per day? So a lot of things is happening in that business, and if you are not paying attention to them, you might actually be missing out on so many things. So every sale you make, every payment, every transaction, every complaint, every delay. For example, I go to a store and I see a lot of queues. Immediately, as a person, I am not too comfortable. I want to see, okay, why should I spend extra time? Because time is money, regardless of whatever career you have. So you must understand the value of time. So if I go to a business where my time is being wasted, the second time I'm going there, I have to think twice because I know, okay, these people waste time. There's so much queues. And of course, if you have 10 people like me that think in the same direction, one thing you will observe is after a while, your business patronage will start going down because we have been able to say, okay, for this business, they don't keep to time, they have too much queues, they don't know what it takes to manage their queues, and before you know it, you begin to lose clients and of course customers. So here I have two examples of two businesses. The same market, you can see they are selling the same thing, but of course they are taking different decisions. So if you look at the two of them, the first guy that is there on my left, um, it's experienced, of course. So he has some good memories. He's able to remember. Yeah, he works on his instincts. So it depends more on his instinct. And here we have this lady that actually believes in taking record and, of course, gathering evidence. So let me ask us on the call. You can drop your comment on your response on the chat page. If you were to patronize this or engage any of these two businesses in maybe you want to give them a contract or you want to engage them in one business activity or the other, which of them will you choose? Which of them will you trust their decision? For example, maybe your company is looking for a business to partner with to supply them in some of these things they are selling. Now, which of these two businesses will you most likely go for and why? So let me give us few seconds to respond to that. Just drop your response on the chat bot, and we'll be able to quickly look at them because I know we are muted. Okay, somebody is going for the one with records. Uh, I hope it's not that the ladies are picking the ladies. Okay, I see a man also picking the lady. But I was thinking we'll actually do gender balancing. The man can, somebody can also pick the man because that is what most of us do. Are you saying the guy with the instinct is not really doing fine? All right. It's good that virtually all of us agree that you pick somebody that actually has records. Because there is actually a difference between memory and records. And of course, instinct and evidence are two different things. And for a business that want to succeed, you want to succeed based on evidence, not based on what you think, not based on what you assume, not based on assumptions. I was actually in Cape Town some few weeks ago, and one of the agency was actually having a presentation, and he was giving an insight of how they gave a business to a small contract, a small scale indoor business enterprise to actually do some renovation. And along the line, the guy messed up the job because one, he delivered the job way beyond the deadline, far beyond the deadline, and along the line also he ran out of resources. So he could not continue the job. So it was a big mess. And why? Because the young man did not actually plan well. He felt he could rely on his instincts, but he had no plan, detailed plan of the actual cost of materials and the time lags he will need. So these days, businesses are not built on instincts. Businesses has to rely on evidence. And of course, this evidence have always been there, but majority of us have never been able to tap into it. So what decisions are you making without evidence? Now, this is a very important question because that's actually the cost of guessing. When you don't have evidence, you will guess. And when you guess, it is dangerous for your business, it is dangerous for your profession. And that's why as researchers, we rely mostly on data, on what is data saying, and not what are you saying or what are you thinking. So the same thing applies to businesses. Businesses are driven by data, and that is why data analytics is actually the main thing right now globally, because there's a lot of things we can do with data. There's a lot of people you can service with data. Data allows you to understand your market. Data allows you to understand those that are working, those that are interested in your product. Data allows you to understand what their needs are exactly so that you focus on those needs and not actually fill your business with a lot of goods that people don't need. You don't do business because your neighbor is doing the same business. That is a wrong mindset. You do business to attend to a particular need. And with data, you can gather evidence of what that need is actually. So in this case, I have two people, one in the business side and one from the academia and the professional work. So in the business, you are concerned about the following questions. What should I stock? What kind of product should I buy? Like I said, you can't just buy everything on your store, especially if you are on this call and you are a small scale enterprise. You can't begin to buy everything on your stock. Even if you're working for a company or a business owner, you can also advise well that what has been the sale pattern for the past 1 month? What have we sold more? When you know what you are selling more, you can be able to stock those same market because that is what your clients are actually looking for. Number two, who are my best customers? Most business don't have demographic, they don't have data. You must be able to have the data of the people that patronize you. Are they workers? Are they employers? Do they patronize you more during the end of the month or beginning of the month? Now in South Africa, salaries were paid last week. So most people are actually on a shopping spree now because that's the best time you will get them. Towards the middle or the second week of a new month, you find that sales will reduce because most people have started spending or they've almost finished spending their reserves. So, but once salary is paid, there's a pattern some of us have observed in South Africa between one salary is paid and the last week of the month. A lot of business activity is going on because people now have the money to buy or to restock. So you need to understand who are your customers. Who are the best customers you have? Where is their money going to? When they come to your stock, what are they even talking about? What do they want to buy? It is wrong for a customer or a client to come to your business and walk out of your business without buying anything. It shows that there's something wrong because for him to have entered your store in the first place, he was expecting that you must have what he wants. So once a customer leaves your store, a client leaves your business, then of course that is money leaving your pocket. So you need to also understand why sales are falling. So if you're on this call and your business is actually having decline in sales, you need to understand. And of course, you can't understand this by instincts. You must have evidence to back up whatever is it that you are trying to understand. So again, you want to find out which product, employee, or which branch, if you actually have multiple branches, which branch is doing fine and in what are they doing fine? Why are they having more part? So it's not about you just opening branches. You must understand if those branches are viable or not. So many people can brag, oh, within 2 years, we have 15 branches. And you find that at the end of the day, you spend most of your money paying workers and you are not actually making profit. So you need to understand those branches that are performing well, why are they performing well? Those that are not doing fine, what exactly is the problem? This same thing also applies to those in academia. Which students need support? Of course, as academia, we have also a business, and our business is teaching and research. So you want to find out from your class which students are actually doing fine. What is the percentage of students that are actually doing well in my subject or in this particular course? And of course, you want to also find out how have I been delivering the teaching method? Is it that I'm too fast? Is it that I'm too slow? Or is it that the students themselves are too distracted? So you must be able to gather evidence in these regards. And of course, again, what does your research evidence really show? From your data, in fact, for me as a lecturer, for every course I teach every semester, I actually have an Excel spreadsheet of the pass and failure rate. So for the past 10 years or 15 years I've been teaching, I've been able to look at the pattern of students that I've taught in that same course. Is it increasing or is there a decline? And I've observed that every generation comes with their own problem. Sometimes you see an increase, sometimes you see a decline. And of course, the decline is general because it's not going to actually affect only my subject. It actually, I see it in other people's subject as well. So in that case, it shows that those particular set of students, I don't know, because I've seen that sometimes you find some sets that are exceptionally brilliant, you find some sets that are exceptionally dull, but again, you don't have influence of that factor. So a lot of things I observe is that most of them pick the wrong course. They do the course not because they have the strength in it, but just they felt, let me just go in and study anything. And there's really anything you can do as a lecturer in such situation. It's only the school that will have to organize a career section and talk to these students and say, look, as a student, you must pick the right career that you actually good with or good in. So it's again, you find that student people come to school, they study a course for 5 6 years, and after graduation, they drop it. They look for something else to do. That shows that in the first place, they were never interested. Maybe they went to study that course because their parent wanted them to study the course, or maybe they saw their friends also studying the course. Okay, let me also go there. But that was not actually what they want for themselves. And of course, these evidences shows why those students are not performing well because there was nothing motivating them in the first place to study that particular course. So whatever you are deciding right now, you need evidence. And of course, the activities you are also engaging in, whether as a business person, also leave clues. For example, your business will show you how much sales you are making. Your business will show you how much payments. Your business will show you how many complaints. If you're on this call, you can't tell me that people have not come to your business before to, even in banks, people go to banks to complain. And of course, they complain about the customer service. They complain about the ATM not dispensing well. They complain about network issues. They complain about monies that were stolen from their account. So every business generates complaints. So as a business owner, you are gathering data on a monthly basis. How many complaints do you get? On a monthly basis, how many inquiries are you getting from your people? How many people are trying to know more about your business? If you have a business website and people are not filling your inquiry form, that shows that people are not coming to your link. That's one way to know that your site is not being active. It's not generating the kind of customer you want. How many clicks do you get on your website every day? How many knocks do you get on your business doorstep every day? It's another brand new Monday morning. Most of us are going out there to work. So the question again is, are you going to pay attention to the kind of activities going on in your organization, or you will just do it as business as usual? Of course, delays, returns. Do people return their goods when they buy it from you, or do they recommend people to your business? And of course, the same thing for those in academia. How many books are you reading per day? How many books are you reading per week? How many articles have you written? How many experiments are you conducting? And what are the findings of this? So each of these activities generates data. So the first step you need to understand here, you have to notice the fact that data is being generated. So we look at the issue of intuition. Now, intuition is actually talking about instincts. And when it comes to instincts, you can't rule out experience. So most people, our Asian fathers, especially in Africa, rely more on experience. So, and of course, they will tell you experience is the best teacher. Fine, we can argue with that. But again, these days it has shown that data is actually the best teacher, not experience. So, are we saying that experience does not matter? Of course, it matters, but not in all cases. Experience and guesswork are almost the same. And you cannot survive as a business owner or as a entrepreneur by focusing strictly on guesswork or what you think you used to know in the past, because there is a global change. Everything is changing. The way we do business is changing. The way people think is changing. Why do you think Google will actually have to insert some program into your phone to understand what you are thinking or what you are saying? Have you not experienced times whereby you were thinking about a product in your mind, and the next time you go to your Google page, you get an ad that says that fits exactly into your thoughts, and you're wondering, how did Google know? In fact, I'm not even saying what you are saying now, because we have situations whereby you are conversing with friends and your phone is listening. And next time you go on Google or your Facebook, you find ads that actually fit into what you were discussing with your friends. But now it has even gone to a stage whereby you are even thinking about the product yourself. And when you go online, you find that the product you were thinking about or the thing you were thinking about, you get an ad being served to you in that direction. So experience or intuition is no longer the key game. The key game is now data. So when you don't test your intuition, it's expensive. It's very expensive, because what you need is evidence and patterns. You want to find out what is the pattern. What happens between, for South Africa now, we are in the winter period. What kind of product are people buying? Very soon we are moving to summer. What kind of products should you be selling? So all of these concepts, you need to understand them deeply, because again, people respond to sales or to activities based on weather conditions. How does weather affect your sales? When it's hot, I think about last month, we find that Europe was excessively hot. And one of the key products that sold more in Europe during that period was air condition, AC. So you imagine now your business did not anticipate global warming, and of course Europe being hot at that point in time, you have lost out in a big money on a big money, because people were actually more interested in buying air conditioners for their homes and for their offices because of that particular situation at that point. So the sales record shows when, where, and to whom to sell. And of course, the feedback reveals the recurring complaint. The demand pattern also indicates when to reorder. So all of this you cannot get when you are doing assumption or guesswork. So we move to the second phase. What then is data analytics? Of course, it's simple human definition. It's just the process of examining information to discover patterns. Underline a keyword, patterns. You want to discover a pattern. There is a pattern that affects our behavior as human. We say human beings are social animals. There's a pattern. And of course, one of the things data analytics does basically is to help us identify this pattern. What will influence people's choice? Of course, they say the needs of humans are insatiable. Agreed. But again, there's a pattern that influences this need. There's a pattern that influences this decision. Sometimes people are moved by what they see. Sometimes people are moved by what they hear. Sometimes people talk about what they want. So the question is, as a business owner, are you actually listening to this? How do you gather this information? And when you have this information, what are you doing with them? How is your business profiting from this information? So it not only discover patterns, it answer questions, and of course, it supports better decision. You are not making decision based on intuition. You are not making decision based on guesswork. You are not making decision based on emotions. You are making what we call informed decisions. And the only way your business can grow or your career can grow is when you make informed decisions. So data tells you what happened. Analytics helps you to understand what that data means. And of course, what are you doing? You want to take a decision that determines what next. And that is what we're doing this morning. You could have decided not to be on this call. And of course, I'm hoping that at the end of this call, whatever we're going to learn this morning, you can apply them into your business. And even if you are an employee, your performance, your productivity becomes better because your client, your boss can trust your judgment. And your judgment is not based on instinct. Your judgment is not based on memory. Your judgment is based on data. And that's why for us as researchers, one of the great tools I use, okay, I'm going to come to that later, for understanding analytics evidence is Notebook. And it's a free service. It's a free tool that you can actually employ because sometimes you need to be able to look at plenty data and understand what the pattern is. We have gone beyond the days where you are trying to do it on your own strength. You need to know the right tools that can actually help you understand this trend of data we're talking about. So your data does not need to be massive to be useful. But of course, these days when we talk about machine learning and prediction tools, you need extensive data. And if you observe recently, you find that most of these AI tools like ChatGPT, they have become more better than they were when they started. And unfortunately, you find that we were the ones training them because they listen, they understand the way we interact. So by interacting with them, we're providing them massive data. And that's why you're actually having them coming up at different models. I think now we have 5.6 SOL. That's the current one. And so far, I've observed that, man, this guy is actually at another level. So your data does not need to be massive to be useful. It does not. What I'm saying basically, even if your business is taking small data, from those small data you have, you can actually still make something out of it. But you need to pay attention to those data. You need to even collect the data in the first place. You need to take records. How many stocks did you have at the beginning? How many did you sell per day? How many are you selling per week? Which of this product is selling faster? You know, all of these records are very important. And of course, if you don't take this data, you might not be able to gather the kind of evidence that you are looking for. So big data may involve massive, and of course, it might also be fast and of course, complex data. So, but again, data-driven decision making begins with one useful spreadsheet. So as a business owner, you can actually have a spreadsheet, WPS, on your phone, or you can actually have take records manually, then convert those manual records into digital records, or again, you can even convert your records directly to digital. That is why if you actually have a business here on the call, you can actually have what we call the barcode scanners. And most businesses are not even making use of that barcode scanner. They only just use it for to print, to know how much, and of course to print a receipt for the client. No, you can actually use that barcode scanner, convert it into a spreadsheet. So because at least it can give you an idea of how many goods were sold, then you look for similar products that were sold. And of course, you can actually have a department that focuses strictly on that. Because again, if you don't understand what your client wants, it's going to affect how much money you make because you'll be missing on big money. So sometimes it's not about you having massive data like we do in the academia. Even a small scale, you can say, "Oh, I'm just a barber." Of course, even as a barber, you generate data. What time does your client comes? Some of us don't even know when to barb. But if I actually have a barber that tells me, oh, and calls me on the phone and said, "Sir, you are due for barbing. Your last time you came here, it was 2 weeks ago. You are due for another haircut." I said, okay, fine. I get, he has refreshed my memory, so I know I have to go barb. But sometimes I'm so busy, it's until my hair starts scratching me. I will say, oh, this hair is scratching me. Why is it scratching me? Oh, I've not barbed. But a good business owner understands that, okay, my client is busy, so most of the time he forgets, so he has a way of reminding me. And that comes to the issue of KYC. How much do you know your customers? How much do you know your clients? Because small data, as much as knowing your clients, goes a long way to improve the profitability of your business. So who needs data analytics? Of course, everyone needs data analytics. As long as you are making decisions, regardless of your country, regardless of where you are, we all need data analytics. Experience is no longer the best teacher. Data is now the in thing. If you don't know how to analyze data, if you don't know how to present the evidences, your experience makes no sense. With due respect, experience is no longer the best teacher. Data is now the king of all teachers. And you must be able to learn how to plug in into data so that you can make good decisions, not only for your business, but also for your career. So if you are a business owner on this call, you are an employee, you are a teacher, even as you can say, okay, I'm an employee, they are paying me salary. What's my business with taking data? Of course, if you are productive, it makes more money for you. If you are productive, it brings more opportunity for you. If you are productive, your boss sees you as somebody he can rely on. Promotion should not be based on eye service. Promotion, that I know, is based on productivity. And the best way to even rise above others is to be able to provide evidences to your boss to say, boss, we sold this last week, we had this last week. From the data, you have a spreadsheet. You are at a business meeting, you are not talking without anything. You are talking with a graph. You are using a chart to show the rate at which sales was either increasing or dropping. And of course, at a glance, everybody sees that you know what you are saying. When next they need bigger appointments, who do you think they will call on? So sometimes don't say because I'm just an employee, it was my own. If the business food I can look, don't do like that. You should look for ways to become better. Because again, who says that in the next future you can start your own business? You can start your own business in the next future. So what happens when you start your own business? Some attitudes that we have now is what you will still carry to another business. I remember when I finished school, I went to a company and I presented my CV and I said, look, I want to work with you. In fact, the guy that was supposed to employ the HR called me and said, if I employ you, you will take over my job in the next few years. I said, why? Just give me a chance. He said, from what I see, because I have enough evidence to show my past records of what I've been able to achieve where I've been to. So even as a business owner, as a career person, you must understand that you also need data analytics. You must be able to say your career 5 years from now, where were you? Where are you going to 5 years from now? Where were you before 5 years before? What has been the graph of a publication? What has been the graph of a productivity? You know, all of these questions. So even as a teacher, as a researcher, a manager, professionals, public officials, and in fact, government agencies thrive more on data. These days, you want to actually do something in a municipality, you need to find data. When last was the road repaired? When last was maintenance carried out? It is not assumption. It's not, oh, I think it was 2 weeks ago. Oh, I think it was. No, there must be evidences to show. There must be records. There must be records to show that, okay, at so and so time, we did so and so. Therefore, based on the laws, it is time to review. You know, so regardless of whatever you do, regardless of whoever you are, you need data analytics. So your profession is already generating this data, and that's the beautiful thing. It's not something you need to go and buy or pay somebody for. No, whatever is it you are doing, you are already generating data. The only thing we are saying is, are you listening to these data? Are you picking or are you recording this data? What are you doing? In fact, are you even gathering this data to begin? Because that's the first point. Every day you go to work, every day you go to your business, every day you go to whatever even if you're a student, you are also generating data. But are you really paying attention to this data? So the data is already there. It's not something you are looking for. For example, if a business owner, you make sales every day, you stock up your store, you have customers that come, of course, and also you make expenses. These are even for data you are generating. You actually have data already. So the question now is, are you really keeping this data? What are you doing with this information? Of course, another word for data is information, if you like that. For teacher, as a teacher, you take attendance, you give assessments, and of course, the learning gaps. Are the students' performance increasing or is their performance decreasing? As a manager, you find productivity, delays, resource use. As a professional, your client, how many clients comes to you per day? What do they come for? How do you deliver? What's your turnaround time? What's your performance like? Can your client recommend you to another person? If they can't recommend you, then it shows there's a problem. Because the best way business grow is through referrals. So if you are not getting enough referrals, there's a problem with your service. There's a problem with your business. There's a problem with what you are selling. Sometimes I've seen some businesses where, for example, in Nigeria, you have a salesperson or let me use a sales girl. You have a sales girl and to manage your business. Now, what some of them will do is, for example, if your business is selling a particular product for 15 naira, the sales girl will add her own. After all, my boss wants 15 naira, so she adds like 20 naira or 7, or maybe some can even be so crazy to even add like 15 naira, making it 100. So a client comes and he wants to purchase and he says, okay, this thing is too expensive. And the sales girl will not sell. Even when the client is pricing the actual price of 15 naira, she will not sell. She will insist on 17 naira. And you are not there to monitor the business. So the girl, you come back, you say, why was sales? The girl will tell you there was no sales. And that was not true. The action, by inflating the price of the business, she drove sales away. And we've been able to see this because I've been able to consult for some businesses to see that the problem of the business is not even the business itself or what they are selling, but their staff. When the staff has inflated the price, how will the customer buy? It's not possible. But of course, the staff does not care because at the end of the month, he or she will be paid. So you need to take data. And that's why for business like that, I recommend install CCTV. If you know you will not be there to mind your business, install a CCTV camera from which you can actually see what is taking place or what is happening, or basically even put the price tag on the business itself. And that's why you find that most big corporations use what we call the barcode scanner, because the barcode scanner gives you the actual price. So it will be difficult for a single staff to start going around to change the price at the same time. So there are ways you can actually overcome gaps like this when it comes to businesses. So what are the 4 questions that changes everything? Number 1, what happened? So that's what data analytics help us to do. It helps us to know what actually happened, what is actually going on with the business. Number 2, it helps us to know why it is happening. Why are sales dropping? Why are people no longer patronizing my business? And of course, what is likely to happen next? If this trend continues for the next 2 months, 3 months, will my business fold up or will my business still make more profit? And the only way you can do this is from data. And number 4, what should I do about it? So it is not enough for you to know what happened, why it happened, what is likely to happen. The question is, how do you prescribe a solution? So data analytics can be descriptive, it can help you to diagnose, it can help you to predict, and of course, it can also help you to prescribe a solution. So that is why, as a business owner, you must understand that data analytics is not just, forget about the term, big term, it's still a simple term we can relate with. Because if you really want to describe your problem or describe the problem of your company, you need data. If you really want to diagnose a solution to it, you need, even as a medical personnel, go to hospitals, they also gather data. So that's why they open a file for you with your name. They want to look at the history of the sickness you have come to for them to manage. So that's why you see that when you go to hospital, they tell you must have a number. That's where they keep your records. So when next you come, they look at, okay, last time you were here, what did we treat you for? Are we having a reoccurrence of the same treatment or the same sickness? Is this one a fresh one? And of course, so that even if that doctor is no longer available next time you are on the call, somebody else that is available can look at the history and be able to recommend a good diagnosis for you, or give you a good prediction, or give you a good prescription, and say, next time, please don't eat this food, don't do that. And of course, just to help you, let me be fast a bit because of time. So better data means fewer expensive surprises. When you have good data, it means your expenses will definitely reduce. As a business owner, even as an individual, what do you buy every month? What do you spend? People tell you, oh, I make this much. Before you know, the salary is gone, the money is gone. The question again is, what are you spending your money on? You say, I don't know. I'm not a spendthrift. I'm careful in spending. But the question is, if you take time to look at the data of what you buy monthly, you can actually predict and be able to diagnose where exactly your money is going to, what is consuming your money. Sometimes some small things we purchase can actually accumulate into big debts that we don't know. But if you don't have a data to manage your spending, to track your spending, you might actually keep complaining, and you feel that maybe people from your village are actually affecting you, but not really. It might actually be your own spending habit. So the pattern is what you want to discover. And it's also important for you to act before the problem becomes. So you need to understand your customers, reduce waste, anticipate demand, and of course, look for ways you can actually improve your productivity. So never start by collecting everything. Like I said before, you can start small. So the question you want to do is, what decision am I trying to improve? Are you trying to work on sales? Are you trying to reduce expenses? Are you trying to increase productivity? There should be something that informs your data collection. There should be something. So you can't just ask for example, you can't ask a customer that comes to your office to start filling like 20 pages of forms, or 10 page or 2 pages. It's too much. You will send the person away. Nobody has that kind of time. So maybe just one or two information is what you are looking for. So you want to focus on just two or three information. As a barber, you just want to focus on the name of your client, their address or their phone number. That's all you need. And you want to know their pattern. When last did they come to barb? You take that record. You take the record of the last time they came to barb. The same thing with car maintenance. If you're actually here on a call and you're doing car service repair services, when last was your client in your workshop for a car service, for oil change or for filter? Then once it's the next 2 months, you can remind the person and call the person, sir, ma, your car is due for servicing. It's 2 months already. Your client will appreciate that, because you are saving them resources. You are helping them to do what we call preventive maintenance, which is more cheaper than corrective maintenance. So collect only the evidence that help you answer what is it you are actually looking for. The data is already around you. So before you collect new data, look at what your daily activities already leave behind. So before you say, okay, I want to get money data, the few ones you have gotten before, what have you done with them? Do you understand them? Do you want money? So there must be a reason why you need new data. So it's not just collecting data and data and data for data's sake. No, these data are meant for a particular activity. So your records are not paperwork. They are what we call evidence. Now we have the money and sales. The receipts can be a source of data. The invoice can be a source of data. The sales record, your bank statement. From there, you can track your expenses as individuals. If you're actually using, if you are the type that maybe whatever you buy, you use your card. From your bank statement, monthly bank statement, you can see where your money is going to. Even as a business owner, customers and people, you can also try to create WhatsApp orders. You can have, in fact, if your business is not on WhatsApp now, then you are not yet doing the right thing. I don't want to use another word. You are not doing the right thing, because we have gone beyond this advert. In fact, if you are even on this call and you are still paying heavily for graphic design for your business advert, you are not doing the right thing. You are wasting money, when you can actually have a tool like ChatGPT image that will give you beautiful flyers customized to your business at reduced cost. So these tools are here, but we need to learn how to use them to improve our services. attendance sheets, surveys, and feedbacks. There are some companies or business you go to, they will tell you they want to do promo, maybe give you maybe share some money to the first 3 or 4 or do a raffle draw. All they are looking for is customers to give them feedbacks. How often do you ask your customers for feedbacks? Do you have a suggestion box in your business where people can drop their comments, be it anonymous, to tell you what they like about your business or what they don't like about your business? They are small things, but of course, we need to pay attention to them. Your operations and reach, your inventory records. Don't wait until the end of the year before you take an inventory of what your business is actually doing. You can do it monthly, you can do it weekly, but monthly is much better. So start small, record consistently. You do not need an expensive system to begin. And of course, you want to make sure that you need to have a department, like I've said, that is actually focused on this. Make it an habit for your organization to always build data, because data is very, very important. Now, poor data produces poor decisions, and that is where your AI
Seems
aspect.
like we've run out of time, big time.
Okay, so let me quickly summarize. Thank you. I thought as much. This is just, I also time is just 37 minutes. So let me summarize in the next 3 minutes. So raw data produces poor decision. That is where you need an AI tool to assist you. AI can process your data faster. It cannot make your inaccurate data truthful. So you need to understand that AI is not supposed to lie to you. So, but it can help you understand the data. So even if you have 1,000 records, 2,000 records, it can help you understand what the records are saying. And that's why I was talking about a tool like a Google Notebook LM. Maybe in subsequent presentations, I can show you a practical demonstration of how Google Notebook LM can help you understand or manage all of your data at a glance. You don't even need a specialist on that. It can actually help you like that. It can help you to understand, explain, of course, anticipate, sustain. So again, these days you need to understand that we have what we call the generative AI as well as the agentic AI. These two AI are actually different. Some people still use generative AI, but now businesses are using what we call agentic AI. And of course, I'm just going to just expose us to them because of time. Agentic AI allows you to multitask. It allows you to combine several things together, and you can actually build a good decision from that. So, because of time, the practical data decision loop, we want to define the decision, gather relevant data, clean and organize those data, ask AI to help you understand this data. And of course, what you know, AI cannot be too reliable. You want to also verify whatever is given you, and of course, take decisions based on that. So, I will actually advise that you need to start looking at AI more, gather your data, then of course you can use them to grow your business, and of course you can also use them to scale. To scale your business with AI, you have to move to what we call the agentic AI mode that can actually help you. All right, so I think that brings us to the end of the presentation for today, and I hope we've been able to understand the fact that data is actually important for our business and for our career, and whatever it is that we are doing. So I want to leave you with this final word. Your business is already talking. So it's not as if your business has not been talking, but the issue is you have not been listening. So with data analytics, it helps us to listen to what the business is saying. And for you to listen faster, you must integrate AI so that you can see the deeper reality, and of course, you can take action before it is too late. Thank you so much for listening. And of course, thank you to the organizers for the opportunity to present this to you. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Thank you. We are very happy and grateful. I wish we could do it more. I think we have a sequel so that we will get more maybe on this generative AI and the likes. And we are happy and grateful. We've really run out of time. We also, okay, Lady Noel, who is passing the vote of thanks?
Sorry, for the because of time, we are not going to have question and answers right now. So The passer of
afterwards. People can wait a bit,
yes,
so that after we close, you can have a bit of Q&A. Yes.
Yes. So Alabaster is going to pass the vote of thanks.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
On the team. It's my privilege to express our heartfelt appreciation to everyone who made today's session a success. First and foremost, we thank God for granting us another impactful, enlightening session. We sincerely appreciate the leadership of the Power Monday for their vision, commitment, and unwavering dedication to empowering life through knowledge and continuous learning. The leadership continues to inspire on excellence and growth amongst every member of the Power Monday team. Profound thanks goes to Falcon for partnering with the Power Monday and ICT Gurus. Your support and collaboration have been invaluable in making this initiative a reality. We deeply appreciate your belief in this vision and your commitment to developing people and creating opportunities for learning. A very, very special appreciation to my Egbon. He's a Nigerian like I am. Dr. Ben Festus. Teaching today was simply exceptional. On data analysis, that opened my mind a lot on what I can use and what we can use our AI to accomplish, especially in this area of data analysis. So thank you so much for your generous sharing through your wealth of knowledge, practical insights, and professional excellence experiences. The session has equipped us, and indeed, it was good to have you back again in popular demand. To every participant who took time out to attend this morning, I want to say a very, very big thank you for being a part of today. We look forward to having you next week, for another wonderful section. Thank you so much, everyone. Good morning, and have a wonderful week.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I welcome Antonia to give us any information from the admin. And then after Antonia, we are going to have a session of question and answers. Antonia, and as she is unmuting, I'm pretty sure she is going to remind us of the dinner. So Antonia, kindly, just to hear it from you and to see your beautiful face.
Good morning, Power Monday team. I'm so grateful that we managed to join today. And thank you to our today's speaker. My key takeaway for today is data is, experience is no longer the best teacher, but data is. So thank you so much for giving us such strong nuggets and to ensure that we are well informed. And on our upcoming event, that is Power Monday dinner, we are still registering people. And if you've not yet joined the movement, you are missing a lot. Kindly register your name, submit your name, and make sure that you make some payment because you're doing reservations. For those who are inquiring, we will let you know whether they will allow us to come with merchandise, like having a table where you can display what you sell or what you do. We will confirm on that. But above that, we have 3 good packages that you can partner with us and make sure that your business is well has been well known, and also visibility has been on top notch, because we'll do this on social medias, and also we'll make sure that your flyer is on our is part of the information that we are passing across. So we have 3 packages for bronze, silver, and gold. We have bronze for 30,000. We have silver for 50,000 Kenyan shillings, and gold for 80,000 Kenyan shillings. So for more information, you can inbox any of us, and you'll be able to get more information on what each package contains in order to have the best visibility of your business. We are paying only 5,500 per head for preservation of the dinner. So if you're coming alone, that is the amount that you're supposed to pay as a person. But if you're coming as a company or you want to book a whole table, there is those packages that we have outlined there, and then we will, your table will be preserved. Yeah, and on my last maybe notice, I just want to thank all the participants who managed to show up for the Power Monday meet and greet at the Kenya Comfort Suites and Hotel. It was great. I personally missed it because I was attending some other family engagements. But those who attended, we can see from the group that they had fun, and it is something that you don't want to miss next time. So for us who missed, I pray that in our next meet and greet will be available, starting with the upcoming dinner. Yeah, thank you so much. Back to you, our moderator, Noel.